All right. Welcome once again to the beatzillapdx official show. And this is a news break. Probably more like a news brief, but nonetheless, we are here. As you're coming into this broadcast, please hit that like button, hit that share button. If you have not already subscribed to this channel, go ahead and do that right now. Hit the subscribe button, then hit that notification bell. Hit the word all. That way you'll be notified anytime this channel goes live or a video is uploaded or premieres. And of course, if you would like to support this channel even more, you can join this channel and become a member. And as members can tell you, right now we have started a new thing this year. So when we have the live, so for the weekly wrap up, that live will actually be taken down within 24 hours of the original air. And then you'll get clips from that particular live. But the live in entirety will be in the members area. So that's where they'll be going forward. And also the videos that will air first in the members area, and then they air for the public to see as well. And then, of course, there's some stuff that will never be public. So, with that being said, thank you all for tuning in. Peace, power, blessings, and protection be upon you. So, today, and things that never disappoint, Sunny Hostin. Once again, Sunny Hostin, ladies and gentlemen, the host of The View that has been jilted ever since the election, and disappointed that Kamala Harris has lost, and she's really sore about it. Now, one of the talking points over the course of the election cycle, and the push was a lot of talk about January 6th. I mean, we've seen nothing less than a consistent ringing of the bell about January 6th and January 6th. And we got to do something. It's January 6th, and he's spawned an insurrection. However, the truth about that is a little clearer. They actually, all parties involved, Democrats and Republicans, have to take ownership on, number one, not making sure that when they asked for the extra security that they got it. And so on the Democrat side of it, playing the tit for tat game, that also plays into what happened January 6th. So we can't sit up here and just be like, it was Trump that incited these guys. No. And realistically, let's be even more clear. MAGA, who you call MAGA, they're not bound to Trump. They are bound to their ideals. That's why when you've seen Vivek and Elon Musk kind of go off, you've seen the MAGA people start checking them real quick. And they didn't wait to see what Trump was going to say. So you have to understand that MAGA in itself is just the societal indictment. So when you're looking at those people, they'll be here long after Trump is gone. You just now have a name on white nationalism. And you can call it MAGA. That's all they really are. That's what they represent for the most part. Now, I'm sure some people would be like, that's a gross mischaracterization. Maybe so. But it just seems to me that when you see January 6th, and like for me, I'm living in Portland, Oregon. You think when those people want to get their way, that they would need a Donald Trump. That lets me know how many people in the United States absolutely have no idea on how white supremacy works. And so they come out here with all of these wacky ideas, I guess because they're allowed to make money, they're allowed to be on television, and they are able to hold offices and whatnot, be in parties and be on the golf courses with these people. And they believe they've arrived and racism died when Barack Obama became president. We know that's simply not true. So a lot of these people, well, you know, what's good for me. And then you'll get the folks like Whoopi Goldberg who will tell you and tell others, just worry about yourself. But then they want to get up here in the position to guide, advise, mislead the black masses. They're all willing to do that. That is a classic definition of a sellout. Nonetheless, this thing with Sonny Hostin comparing slavery to, or comparing January 6th to chattel slavery. I'm going to play this in its entirety, and then I'm going to come back and highlight one of the things she says. But with that, let's see what Sonny has to say.
I think we need to find moral clarity, you know, in this country. And I just remember after January 6th, you had someone like Mitch McConnell placing the blame on January 6th where it belonged, squarely on Donald Trump's shoulders. Mm-hmm. And then you started seeing people backtrack that mm-hmm. and losing their moral center. You had Condoleezza Rice, I believe, on this very show saying, you know, we need to move on from January 6th. Mm-hmm. I say no. You don't move on, because January 6th was an atrocity. It was one of the worst moments in American history. And when you think about the worst moments in American history, you know, like World War II, things that happened, you know, like the Holocaust, chattel slavery, we need to never forget, because past becomes prologue if you forget any race.
I want to ask you.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go back. Now you heard what she just said. Let's take another listen.
When you think about the worst moments in American history, you know, like World War II, things that happened, you know, like the Holocaust.
The Holocaust, unless you are referring to the Holocaust of chattel slavery, because all of those people are victims, you know, and there has not been any restitution made to their descendants who have a status here, which is called freedmen. Freedmen, meaning citizens, because they are foundational to this land. See how easy that is to explain? Anyway, the Holocaust she's speaking of course, we know happened in Europe. That's not American history, although America gives money to Israel day in, day out. That did not happen here. And they're still trying to find more ways to get reparations for themselves from other groups, for those who didn't know. So that's something to be mindful of, because that's, you know, shoot, these people are getting theirs. Why shouldn't we get ours? And then other folks will have like Zelensky, or even the Gaza conflict. You know, you have these things that they're pouring money into as soon as black folks start talking about reparations. However, reparations this time around is not a niche conversation. It's a very much in your face. You have to talk about it on the news. You have to talk about it in Congress kind of conversation. And no, it's not going away. And you can have Sheila Jackson Lee gone, dead, and you can let all the Congressional Black Caucus die off. Reparations is right here. And we're not talking about no HR 40 from a Jamaican. We talking about cash payments for foundational Black American freedom. So what she's saying is chattel slavery is relative to the Holocaust. So you lumping that in, which it's not. And don't get me wrong, the Holocaust is definitely a terrible thing. Does it stand in comparison to chattel slavery in America? And topple that with Jim Crow, redlining, and mass incarceration? Absolutely not. Not even close. Because it's not, again, the treatment of this same group is not time-oriented. It's people-oriented. And it's been a perpetual generational oppression. And people like, you guys got the victim mentality. Tell that to your white women. I want to hear this talk around white feminists. If I can't hear it there, it should not exist. Go talk that to the white trans community. Those victimhoods, and they're always victims. Yeah, they can be victims, and then you can, oh, what about the Asians? The Asians are victims. You know what you supremacists really need to do? You need to turn your attention over to the people who are always screaming anti-Semitism. I mean, they are absolutely victims, right? Are you saying they're not? So when it comes down to foundational Black Americans who's, you know, contrary to some brain dead trolls' belief, foundational Black Americans building free labor, to deny free labor, knowing that you want to get paid for everything you do, is idiotic. And say, oh, well, that's a little thing. No, it ain't. If you ain't getting up every morning and going to work and slaving at your job for free, then you have common sense to tell yourself, I'm supposed to be getting compensated for my work. But those people always we have our history lumped in with everybody else's, and you start mentioning tragedies like they're relative. And for a person like Sunny Hostin, who has no blood tie to that, I mean, actually, she has ties to slavers. She doesn't have ties to the descendants of slaves. She's descendant of slave owners. That's where Sunny Hostin comes from. So I don't even know why she threw that in there other than being out of touch. But let me just play the rest of that real quick.
Chattel slavery, we need to never forget, because past becomes prologue. We need to never forget, because past becomes prologue if you forget any race. I want to ask you. Yeah.
I can't actually disagree with the past becomes prologue. But what are you advocating for, Sonny? Because there's a lot of people out there that have been trying to disrupt the reparations conversation. You know what I'm saying? They have really, really worked hard at disrupting. You have groups that have really done janky stuff to foundational Black Americans. And then they'll take money. They'll get their Judas purse. They'll get that good Judas purse from funding partners to undermine and undercut the agenda of reparations. And the one thing that we need to do, and people like Sonny, you need to know, we don't tie our plight in with nobody else anymore. That's why we have delineated. And so you can keep that type of behavior, Miss Sunny Hostin. And so, yeah, I just wanted to chime in real quick with this lunacy, because there is no comparison of January 6th. A bunch of angry Republican right-wingers, and then also add to that the agents on the ground and all of the who knows, all the other assets, because what we did hear is about FBI assets. What we didn't hear of is the CIA assets. Because if you think the FBI was only a group operating out there, you got to be kidding. Heck no. That's a silly notion. You understand me? A very silly notion. So here we are again, January 6th, and Kamala Harris is confirming the election results, going the other way. That's the full circle of the January 6th saga. There is nothing to continue about remembering this. I guess no. And never forget, for the simple reason, because what they want you to do is blame Trump. What you need to do is focus in on, because Trump is not the inspiration or the lifestyle that made all of those people do that. You need to start digging into that core of America and the core to American thinking. This is the country that said, I'm going to put Black folks in chains, and everything that I'm going to do is to undermine their progress. Like putting people like Sunny Hostin on TV instead of actually finding you a real legitimate Black woman. Like letting Sunny Hostin be in a sorority that is traditionally foundational Black American sororities. But with all of that open policy thing, here we go. So just like Kamala, just like Sunny, that whole system of Black Greek fraternities and sororities and that old boule thing, that is done. And y'all can't delineate within your ranks anyway. You took an oath, and that is what you're sworn to be by, and the deities that y'all worship, and that puts you in the 2/3 club. So, there'll be people that will see this and be like, man, you guys are just overthinking it, man. This not that serious. It ain't that serious. She's comparing it to slavery. You guys just need to get over it. Well, I say to you, beatzillapdx, I speak for the beatzillapdx show. Those of you in the chat, the grassroots, and the voices of new Black media, for you brain dead lame trolls to say that we should get over it, we proudly dedicate this song to you.
Get up off of that cocaine and get up off of that crack. Get yourself together and get your mind back.
Absolutely. And, never forget that there's a lot of people out here trying to really, really press hard to identify as foundational Black Americans now. Get this whole thing about this is what we look like and this is what. No. This is evidence and proof of when you don't come from the same culture, you don't know how to honor that without being taught by the people. That would be us. And since no one consults the Black grassroots, you just have more idiotic spewing of nonsense over the airwaves about Black folks' history. And she's talking about they're trying to erase it. Well, what do you recommend, Sonny? See, these people always do that, but they don't have anything to tell you about how to combat anything. They just tell you, well, see, this is what this side is doing. But y'all aren't even doing anything now to stop it. Now, I'm seeing a whole bunch of stuff about these illegals. Y'all will talk left and right, and it's not a Black issue. Stop making it a Black issue, because at the end of the day, them folks don't rock with us. The only reason why they rocking with us is because we're fighting for reparations. Hashtag, hands off our reparations.
You have no rights here. We're not under the empire.
And as for January 25th or 21st, I hope we see what we need to see. He stays true to that promise. Hashtag, fire up the jet.
Happy birthday.
Yes, indeed, family. So this has been a Beatzilla PDX official news break. Madness. Madness. So again, please stop talking, Sonny, on us. You don't speak for us at all. You speak for slave owners, not the descendants of the slaves. So until next time, ladies and gentlemen, hit that like button, share this out on your social media, follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at beatzillapdx. And don't forget, stay black, stay vigilant, stay alive. Black first, black first, black first. Shalom.